Hello. I see we've got one person joining in. I can't see who you are yet, but thank you so much for joining in. That's Raquel. Hello, Miss Raquel. If you can go ahead and share with your friends and your followers. Tonight, it's just the ladies. And we're going to be talking about men tonight. We're going to be talking about men. I hope I'm going to have some wives who join in tonight. Thank you guys so much for coming in. Go ahead and share. And invite your other girlfriends and wives to follow. And I always say wives and those who want to be. Not every woman wants to be a wife. But tonight, this is for wives, really, and for those women who want to be wives, because I'm really going to be talking in the context of a marriage tonight and understanding this man that you love so much. And hopefully you love him. You loved him enough to marry him, or maybe considering marrying him, or looking to marry a man. And so that's who I am here to talk to tonight. My husband is traveling. And so I thought I would go ahead and follow through with we usually are online live Monday night. So I thought I would go ahead and follow through, and I would just talk to women tonight about this topic that, this topic, don't you know something always happens on these live broadcasts? This topic that we love to talk so much about, but sometimes we know the least about, and that is men. You know, most of us, we've spent our lives being women, and then we marry these creatures who are so different from us. And I need my creature right now, my male creature, because he is the one who does this stuff for me, makes things work. And as you can see, this thing that's supposed to be holding my camera is not working. And Dexter Howard is not here to help me, so that's why I appreciate men so much. I appreciate men. Help, Daddy, are you online? What am I doing wrong? I can't get this thing to hold my phone in. See? We need men. I tell you what, ladies, I'm going to improvise. I'm going to go to another thing. Y'all hold on. I see you, Marshita. Hey, sis. Hang on. I'm going to improvise. I got something else here. Just a minute, ladies. There you go. All right. I had another piece of equipment. All right. Great. Wow. 22 of us. All right. Keep on sharing, you guys. I don't want to hold y'all long, but I just want to have this conversation with you all about men tonight. And I think it's a really important conversation. You know, the scriptures tell us to, in all of our getting, to get understanding. And so it's really important, you know, if you're going to live this life with this person who is so different from you, that you need understanding about him. And I recognized that really quickly when I got married 23 years ago to my husband. Now, I was raised with men. I was raised with a daddy, and I was raised with 3 brothers. And so I was raised in a house with men. But I'm going to tell you the truth. I was never trying to understand a man. I wasn't trying to understand my dad. And I certainly wasn't trying to understand my brothers. Even the guys that I dated before I got married, I wasn't really trying to understand them because, you know, if they started getting on my nerves or whatever, I would just quit them. I just break up with them. The moment, it got too stressful or too tense, or they got on my nerves, the relationship was no longer serving me, I would just quit them, right? Well, but when you marry somebody, it's not quite that easy. And so I vividly remember that those moments when I first got married, and I thought, what in the world have I done? Because I recognized really quickly that this person that I had said I was going to spend the rest of my life with, he was real different from me. He was real different. I've said this publicly, so he's heard me say this publicly. But he was so different from me until I wondered if he was a little slow. even when we first got married. Okay. I've said this publicly before, but I did because he was so different. He handled things so differently than I did. He thought so much differently than I did. And I used to think it was just him until I, got more exposed and I realized, no, it's not him. He's a man. He's a man. He is different than me. He is wired different than me. His perspectives. Yeah, I know. Hi, Alvina. Yeah, y'all know I'm going to be transparent. All right. I think that's just the way you do it. And, but his perspectives were so different than mine. His approach to life, his way of looking at life, his approach to doing things, was just so different than mine. And I began to understand that, seek understanding, and then realize there's nothing wrong with him. Absolutely nothing wrong with him. He is a man and I'm a woman, and we are different. And it's all by divine design, really. And so I want to share some things with you that I have learned from 23 years of marriage to a man. I call my husband Dexter Howard. He's a man's man. He's a real man. And then we're going to talk about real men. And when I say a real man, I'm just going to be honest with y'all. I'm talking about a man that's a strong man. He's a man who resists being controlled. He resists being made soft. He resists being emasculated. He resists all that. He's a man, and he maintains that manhood, and I love it. Because I don't know about you, I don't want to be married to a soft man. I don't want to be married to a soft man. I like a man that's hard. I like a man that's strong. I like a man that can hold his own. I like a man who is a leader, who can lead me and cover me and protect me. And, I don't want to henpeck my man. I don't want a man like that. I like the fact that my husband's a real man. I love his authentic manhood. As much as it has challenged me over the years, I've learned, just like his brother, Mike Anderson. I know he's a real man. I've learned to appreciate it. I've learned to honor it. I've learned to respect it. Let me help you. I've even learned, ladies, to cultivate it because I like him hard. I like him strong. I like him like that. And certainly over the years, over 23 years, a lot of course, my rough edges have smoothed out, and so has his. But the essence of his masculinity, I love, I honor, and I appreciate. So I want to kind of share some of that with you tonight, ladies. And this is all about bringing understanding. Your opinion, you may have difference of opinion in some of the things that I say, but this is from my 23 years of marriage, oneness, becoming one with a man, a strong man. I call a real man. And when I say a real man, I don't want y'all to, I just want you to feel me when I say that. If you feel me when I say that, throw up the deuces or do something. Let me know. We got you, Jeanette. We understand what you're saying. Okay. All right. So I just want to create some awareness tonight. This is from my experience with a man, but also not just my experience with my man, but the business I'm in the people business. And so for almost 20 years, I have lived up close. Thank y'all for those deuces. I have lived up close and personal. I've been up close and personal in the lives of so many couples, people. I'm in the people business. And, I've been intimately involved with helping people and intimately involved with marriages and about every kind of situation you can imagine in a marriage. My husband and I have helped people through. Really? About every one of them. I don't know if I've heard of one that we haven't helped people through in an intimate way. I mean, like up close and personal. And so this information I'm sharing with you is not just from my personal experience, but from my up close and personal experience in the marriages of other people. And so as I walk through some of these things tonight about men, what you need to know about your man, I'm going to take you from shallow to deep, and I'm doing it intentional. Okay. I'm doing this intentionally. We're going to go from some shallow kind of elementary things about men, the masculine spirit. And then we're going to get to some deep things. And I want to go in this order because if you can't understand these elementary things, if you can't get past these just elementary man 101 kind of things with your man, with your husband to be, or your whoever with your man in whatever way he is, you can't get past this elementary stuff, you're never going to get to the deep stuff. And the treasures are in the deep stuff, y'all. You're never going to get to the treasures that are in your rough and tough man. You're never going to get to the treasures that are in that old grouchy man, or that old whatever it is you're struggling with him with right now. There's a treasure in that brother. I'm telling you, in every brother. There's a treasure in that brother. He could be an ex-con, but there's a treasure in that brother. There's a treasure in the heart of your man. And you're never going to get to that treasure in him if you can't get past some of these elementary things, okay? So I'm doing this. I'm going from shallow to deep on purpose. On purpose, I'm going from shallow to deep. All right, here's the first thing. It didn't take me long to become aware of this. Well, yes, it did. It took me too long. I eventually became aware of it, but it took me a long time to figure this out. This is elementary. Hopefully y'all know this. Your man cannot stand to be nagged. Now you may say, what is nagging? Let me give you the man's definition, your man's definition of nagging him. The second time you say it, it is nagging. That's their definition. The second time you make that request, the second time you ask him to do something or whatever it is you need done or you want him to do or you need from him or whatever it is. The first time he heard you. The second time in his mind is nagging. It took me a long time because my husband would just always say, if you would stop nagging me, just stop nagging me about it. Well, I had only said it 2 or 3 times, maybe 4. And I had to really one day ask him, what do you consider nagging? And he said, the second time you say it, I heard you the first time. They hear you the first time. And yes, they may be procrastinating on doing what you ask them to do. They may be procrastinating. Sometimes they're thinking about it. Sometimes they're thinking about the right way to do it, the right time to do it. Sometimes they just don't want to do it. Whatever it is, they heard you. And here's what I want you to know about your man. If he's anything like my man, the more you say it, the more he resists you. And so I just learned that about my man. The second time I say it, it's nagging to him. And so finally I had to, find a way to, this is just generally how I deal with my husband. Okay. Now you might deal with yours differently. I really will say it one time, but I will make sure he heard me that one time. I will make sure when I say it, if it's really something I need done, I will say what I need. And then I will make sure that he was paying attention. I'll say, babe, did you hear me? He'll say, yes, I heard you. And I'll leave it alone. I'll leave it alone. Now, if it's something very important or time sensitive, I will remind him. But after that, I leave it alone. I can't tell you how many things that are on my honey-do list, but he heard me. He knows it needs to be done. And, I just trust that he's going to take care of it. And I've just learned to live like that because the more I say it, the more he's going to resist me. And it's going to become nagging to him and the energy is going to get real bad between us. So I just leave it be. Yeah, I leave it. Sometimes I leave it unfixed. But I'll tell you one thing I've learned not to do. Sometimes, I resist doing it myself. If it's clearly something that he is supposed to get done, I'll say it one time and then I just leave it. And that's just one of the things, that I've learned. If any of you all have anything to throw in there, some of you seasoned wives, throw it in there, type it in the comment line, type your notes, leave these for other women. The women will probably tons of women will watch this later. Put your notes in there. Come on and respond. Give me some comments. Give me some feedback. People will come and they'll watch this later. Ladies will come and watch this later. So leave what you do in the comment section, okay, with your husband concerning nagging. But all right, that's shallow. That's elementary, ladies. I'm telling you, this is going from elementary to deep, okay? This is elementary stuff. All right, something else elementary about your man. I hope you know this about your man by now. If you're newlywed, you might be figuring it out. That man, he needs a cave. Every man instinctively, he's going to find him a cave somewhere. They call it cave time or whatever. But men need a cave. A man's cave. That's his time and space in his day. Usually where he really doesn't want any human contact. And, you know, going back to my man, when we first got married, oh my goodness, that it hurt my feelings deeply. I felt so rejected. It hurt my feelings. I didn't understand this because he would come home from work. I wanted to talk and cuddle and talk about the day and all of this. And he would quickly go to his cave. And back in those days, you know, he didn't come out real soon. You know, now he's still absolutely every day. When he is done with his day, he decompresses every day. For 23 years, every day. My husband, he has what he calls decompress time. I know that. I know he needs it. I protect it for him. Sometimes I don't even let the girls, you know, talk to him or whatever. I handle things because I know he needs that. And here's what I want to tell you why. It's physiological. Now, I know some of you ladies on here, particularly if you're newly married or you don't understand this about your man, you don't have this understanding. You're saying, well, I need some downtime every day too. Absolutely, you do. But it's different for them. For them, it is about fighting stress. It is a survival mechanism. It is physiology. So I'm going to give you a biochemistry lesson I'm going to give you a lesson in the male biochemistry. All of us, male and female, everybody has survival mechanisms, okay, to fight stress. We are wired in a way, all of us are wired for self-preservation and to really it's about fighting stress. And so for a man, the hormone in him that helps him fight stress is called testosterone. Here is how it works. This is all biochemistry. Hopefully I'm creating some understanding and awareness about your man, his biochemistry. So a man, the hormone that helps him to fight stress is called testosterone. And so he wakes up in the morning and he's got a high level of testosterone, or his testosterone levels are high. But as he expends energy, his testosterone levels during the day are decreasing. They are decreasing. Everything he does to expend energy is decreasing his testosterone levels. And so when he comes home and the first thing that he does is wants to sit down, it really is about boosting his testosterone level. When he rests, his testosterone is increased and it actually helps him fight stress. That is why what first thing a man wants to do when he gets home is he takes off that tie, his work clothes or whatever he does. He finds a place to sit down, decompress. He may go to the bathroom. He may go to his little den, his little cave, or whatever it is. Even if it's just some men do it for a long time. They don't have to do it that long. It really don't take that long for their testosterone to replenish, but it does take some time. And that's why they're wired to instinctively do that. It's like a survival mechanism. They don't even know what they're doing is their resting so their testosterone levels can increase. It's helping them to fight stress. For a woman, you are like completely different. The hormone in you, sis, that helps you fight stress is called oxytocin. And oxytocin is the hormone that is released when you, like for instance, when you nurse a baby, oxytocin is released. And that's why usually when you nurse a baby, you fall asleep. It helps you relax. That's your relaxation hormone. And that hormone is released when you're involved in a nurturing type situation, nursing a baby, talking, when you're nurturing something. I hope y'all are seeing this. So for both of you, that's how you fight your stress. Can you see how it can be a train wreck when you don't understand this? He comes home from work. The first thing he needs to do is decompress, find a cave, find somewhere to be alone, decompress, rest his mind or whatever. That's really so his testosterone levels can increase. That's his way of fighting stress. When you come home, you want to talk. Now you need to rest, but rest doesn't help you fight stress. You know? And so you want to talk. And so when you don't understand that, it can create a train wreck. And so thankfully in the Howard household, we understand that. We understand that. And we've created a happy medium with each other. So I get that my husband, even though we do a lot of the same work, we work together. So we're both tired when we get home. But I get that he quickly, the first thing he needs to do is decompress. I get that about him. So I know he needs to decompress. I don't infringe on that. You know, and so I give him that decompress time. But he knows for me, I need connection. I need to be nurtured. I need to cuddle. I need to talk or whatever. Okay. And so after I've given him this time to decompress, we meet up on the couch, on the sofa or whatever. And it works beautifully. And so this is what you need to know about your man. That's still elementary. He needs that space. Now, I will say he don't have to be in a cave all night long, every day, all day. No. Right. But he does need some space. I understand that so much about my husband. I create spaces for him. Every home we've lived in, I create his space. I help him create his space because I know he needs his space. Especially he lives in a house with 7 women. That brother needs his space, okay? And so this is what you need to understand. Second thing you need to understand about your husband, and we're going to get a little bit deeper now, is that he is wired to be self-centered. Now, there is a difference between selfish and self-centered. Selfishness is immature. Selfishness can destroy the relationship. But that's really an immature character trait. It's boyish. You know, you got to help him outgrow that. But self-centeredness, however, is really not a character flaw, but it's really more a vital part of his makeup. When I say self-centered, it means that a man sees himself not as the center of the world, but he really does see himself as the center of his world. Let me help you understand. His world is most important to him. Seeing him as a king, and he has a kingdom. And that kingdom is the most important thing to him. His own kingdom. Okay? It's that self-centeredness, and it kind of makes him like a king. You know, he sees himself as a king, and his kingdom, what he's got going on, his world is the most important thing to him. And that's what you've got to understand, you know, about your husband. And so yes, he has this self-centered kind of nature, not selfish, There's a difference, but self-centered, where he's the king and his kingdom is most important to him. You know, when you understand that, then you learn how to encourage him. You know, you learn how to grow the king in him. Because if he's the king, guess who's the queen? You are. You're the queen. So don't try to kill the king in him. All right? Cultivate that king in him. Let him be the king. You know, you're the queen. All right? You get that? We're going to go just a little bit deeper. What you need to know about your man. Here's what you need to know about your man. Now, I know we live in this age where a lot of women now, you're making more money than your husband. That is so real. That is becoming more and more prominent today, normal today. Women, in particular African-American women, are becoming the most educated sector in our nation right now. And so women, we're dominating in the marketplace right now. The women's pay is increasing faster than men's pay, even though there's still not equal pay for equal work, but we tend to be promoted and our pay increases faster than men's pay. And so that's creating sometimes some issues in homes. because women are making more money than men. It's creating some challenges for men and for women. But regardless if you're making more money than him or not, there's always this part in him, sis, that's going to feel like I need to provide. And if he is not able to provide, or if you're making more money than him, you know, for many men, that's going to be a challenge because he is wired to provide. He's wired to provide. And so if you are in a situation where you're making more income or contributing more financially to your household than your husband is, you're going to have a lot of wisdom. You're going to have a lot of wisdom in how you handle your husband. You're going to have to make him feel like even though he may not be contributing financially to the home or as much as you financially, you've got to make his contribution in other ways huge. You're going to have to value his contribution in the other ways in a big way to help him keep his esteem up, because he is wired to provide. And if he doesn't, you know, there's just this innate part of him that can really struggle even with his manhood. Okay. And so you're going to have to be wise. That's all I can say. And you're going to have to, I'm not telling you to step back from your dreams or quit your job and all that, you know, don't do that, but you're going to have to be a wise woman and help him and value him and help him feel valued, because the contribution he makes in some other way is huge, so huge to you and the family. I hope you guys are understanding that. That's really, really important that you know about your man. You can't change it. It's just the way it is. Okay? You can't change it. All right. Next, let's move on, and I'm gonna give y'all a chance to give me some feedback, answer some questions. I got like about 10 of these. I'm not gonna get through all of them because it will take too long. And I don't want to be on here all night. I'll come back next week or something, and we'll talk about this more if you want me to. Here's another thing you need to know about your man. He needs a response. He does everything, girlfriend, for a response. Absolutely everything. Men are performance driven. They are performance driven. And like any performer, you know, they need audience response. Yeah, they need a attaboy. They need a roar from the audience. You know, they need celebration and adulation. They do everything for response because they are performance driven. And so if a man is doing something for you that is good, even though you may feel like that's what he's supposed to do, let me tell you something. That brother, he needs a response from you. He needs a response. I'm going to tell you, you know, I don't have to have him say every time I cook a meal, my husband does not say thank you for cooking. Okay. I'll be honest with you. I don't have to have it. I just cook the meal because I'm supposed to cook the meal. You know, it doesn't matter that much to me, but I understand that that's different for him. That is different for him. If he does something, especially something that is out of the ordinary, or that he's expended a lot of energy, or, you know, y'all know what I'm talking about. You better believe he needs a response. And y'all know any performance he does that's good, and y'all know what I'm saying. It's grown woman talk. If he performs well, you better give that man a response. All right? You better give him a response. Give him a thank you and, you know, whatever else is appropriate at the time. All right? What's rewarded is repeated, sis. Always remember that. What is rewarded is repeated. If you like it, tell him. If you loved it, tell him. All right? That's really, really, really important that you do that. I see somebody putting a little happy dance on that one. Truth is truth.com. Some of these ladies been married for a while. And stop saying, well, I don't have to have that. I don't need that. No, you don't. You're not a man. Every woman on here type, I am not a man. Type it down right now. I am not a man. So stop saying, I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't understand why he has to have that. I don't need that. Nope, you don't need that. You are not a man. He is. You are not a man. There you go. Thank you, sis. You are not a man. You are not a man. You are a woman. You are not a man. He's the man. You're a woman. You might say, well, when is he going to understand some of this stuff about me? You know, I get that feeling too, but that's not the topic tonight. That's not the topic tonight. I'm helping you to understand this man that you're married to. Okay? Maybe one more. Men need help. You know, the first definition of a wife in the book of Genesis is helper. Helper. God saw it in the very beginning that the mission that he gave the man to tend and keep that garden, he wasn't going to be able to do it alone. I imagine God probably came into that garden one day and saw that Adam wasn't doing a real good job of tending and keeping the garden. And he said, it's not good that man should be alone. This brother needs some help. And so, you know, the Bible says that he reached inside of Adam, you know, and took out a rib and he formed a woman. And he gave that woman as a help, that wife, a wife as a help. And so I really believe this is from years of working with people. And when I tell you stories I know that I'll take to the grave, because the work I do is highly confidential. But this is what I'll tell you. I've observed this, that there's just something about a man, he's drawn to the woman who helps him most. That's just something I've noticed about a man, that he tends to be drawn to the woman who is helping him the most. That is why a man often, if he had a good mother, a really good mother who really loved him a lot, that's why, they're mama's boys, and it's so hard for you to, sometimes as a wife, for you to get their heart away from their mama. Because they love their mama so much, because their mother helped them the most. Their mother helped them so much. And his heart is so tied to his mother because his mama was helping him and loving him and doing so much for him. And so a man just kind of instinctively, his heart is drawn and attracted to and gets attached to the woman who really is helping him the most. And that is why often they have affairs with their secretaries. You know, you hear them having affairs with their nannies. They instinctively are drawn to the women who are helping them the most. And so I've made it a point, and because I understand this about this man, my man. Now, y'all know I've shared this in every kind of woman setting I can, just to try to help you. I don't let anybody out help my husband, out help or outserve me when it comes to my husband, if that makes any sense, in serving his mission and his vision and helping him. I don't let any other woman do it more than me, help him more than me, be more committed to his success than I am. I don't let any other woman serve in that role. Y'all know, as a first lady, I've said this to you many times, I'm always in my seat. If at all possible, I am always in my seat. I have sat in that seat mad. I have been in that seat upset. I have been in that seat frustrated. I have been in that seat scared. I have been in that seat in all kinds of shapes, forms, and fashions. But guess what? I'm always in my seat. Because I get that if I'm not in that seat, some chick is looking at that seat. They say, ooh, Pastor Jeanette ain't been here for about 2 or 3 Sundays. What's going on? She's got her eye on that seat. If you think some woman doesn't have her eye on your seat in your man's life, And she knows when you're not meeting it. So stay in your seat. Stay in your seat. Find out what his dreams are, what his visions are. What does he want in life? Help him to accomplish it. Help him to do it. Don't just be so self-consumed. I know this is the age of women. I know this is the age of the woman and women's empowerment, and go build your dream, woman. That's fine if you're a woman, but if you're a wife, and I'm a woman of dreams and visions, and I got all kinds of stuff going on. But I am utterly aware of the role, the holy role that I play in the life of my husband. And I stay in that seat. And I got all kind of staff and all kind of stuff, y'all. I got a payroll of a lot of women on it who help, my husband and me and serve the ministry and all of that. But not one of them is more committed than I am to his success. Not one of them. Because I won't let it be. Okay? All right. I hope that helped you guys. All right. I'm going to end right there because I've got some more. I didn't even get to the deepest things yet, but I want to come back and we can talk about this some more. What are you guys saying there? Let me see some of your comments. I'm scared to mess with this thing because I don't know how to see everything that you're saying here. This has been helpful to you. Yeah, you've got to be in your seat. Hello, Naomi. Marshita, the seat next to your husband has room for only one woman, and that's you, his wife. Crystal, please do more. Absolutely, your role in your husband's life, it's a holy role. When you say a holy role, this is how serious husband-wife is. But we're talking to wives now. I understand, as my husband's wife, I am put in his life to fulfill a need that nobody else on the earth can fulfill. They're not supposed to anyway. Nobody else can fulfill that role but me. His mama can't do it. His secretary, she's not supposed to do it. It's only I can fill that role in his life. And I don't want him to have to go out and find somebody else because I'm not filling that space, And so I fill that space up. Now, I'm going to tell y'all the truth. Y'all know I'm going to tell you the truth. I filled that space up before, my own needs were filled up. I just did what I was supposed to do. And I am so grateful. God, I'm so grateful that I'm just going to tell you the flat out truth. My soul will make its boast in the Lord. That my husband fills up 100% his role in my life as husband. 100%. He has met all of that. He fills up that space completely in me. I just don't have zero need to look to any other. Now, the operative word is now. It did not start out that way. Thank God for growth on both of our parts. Thank God for growth. Thank God for the Holy Spirit and patience. Thank God for the prayer closet. Thank God for a family vision where we just had a purpose for being together, and we kept coming to the table and working it out and crying and snotting and working it out. We just kept coming back to the table and working it out. We just kept working it out. And I'm so grateful to God Almighty. I'm so grateful. And absolutely, yes, we are intentionally doing what we're doing right now, being as transparent as we can. We don't ever tell it all. But we try to be as transparent as we can to help families stay together and thrive. Because you can see it through so many things. You can see it through together. You just got to keep coming back to that table. Yes, Blanche, you keep coming back to the table. There's too much to lose. You can have been in a marriage for so long until absolutely, yes, there's too much to lose. It's too much invested now. It's too much to lose. So we just keep working it out. Praise God. Yeah, thank you, Alicia. Look at the lives you've touched as a result, and I think that's what it's really all about. It's what it's really all about. You got to keep a purpose higher than just happiness. You know, you're married for something more than just happiness, because every day is not happy, y'all. I'm gonna tell you the truth. You stay married for a lifetime, you're gonna go through like seasons where you're not happy. You may. I'm not speaking that on you. I hope you're happy every day of your life. But you're probably not going to be, because you're humans and life happens. Okay? But you know, I think we've overrated this, you know, I just want to be happy, you know. And happiness is good. But I think what we should be after in our marriages is health, being healthy. A healthy marriage can endure an unhappy season. Just like your body, if your body gets sick, if your body is healthy, it can endure a sickness. It can get over a sickness quicker. And if your marriage is healthy, it can endure an unhappy moment or an unhappy season. Okay? And so I think the goal should be to have a healthy marriage. If you have a healthy marriage, you can endure an unhappy moment, an unhappy season, a season of bad circumstances. Praise God. All right, you guys. Well, I speak the blessing of the Lord over everybody's household, every woman who is on this connection right now, whether you're here now or you came later. I speak the blessing of the Lord over your family. I declare the eyes of your understanding are being opened up in deeper ways. I declare that the love of God is overflowing in your heart toward your husband and toward your family. I just speak success over you now. Whatever the devil has meant for evil against you and your family and your marriage and your union, no matter what it is, no matter how hard the blow has been against you and your marriage, no matter how great the confusion, even no matter how deep the pain has been, I pray now that the healing balm of Jesus would flow into your heart. I pray that you would be wise, that the wisdom of God, not the wisdom of this earth, but the wisdom of God would flood you. It would flood your house. It would flood your heart. It would flood your home. And I just declare success over your union now, in Jesus' mighty name. Now, let me say this to you. If you're not yet married to a man, and you got clear warning signs that you might not need to be, don't do it. If it's God, it'll keep. That's what I'll say to you right now. If it's God, it'll keep. I'm talking to women who are married. I'm not talking to somebody that's you just dating somebody. And things are complicated and you're just dating them. You're just dating. If you're not married yet, you're not married. If you are married yet, if you are not married yet, type in that box, I am not married. To give yourself a wake-up call. I am not married yet. If you are not married yet, none of this applies to you. This doesn't apply to you if you're not married yet. Come on, married women. There you go. You're not married yet. You're not married yet. You got choices. But I'm saying if you've already taken a vow, children are involved, you're just going through some unhappiness or maybe been a tough season, I'm saying, don't run off yet. Get some understanding first. Get some understanding first. Thank you, Ella. You're not married yet. There you go, Melanie. You're not married yet. Always remember that. Alvina, you're not married yet. Yeah, somebody said wait for the Lord. Yeah, you're not married yet. Don't be pretending like you're married to somebody you're not married to yet. You're not married yet. I'm talking to you like I'd be talking to my 6 daughters. You're not married yet. I won't let them live like they're married to a man they're not married to. You're not married yet. Now, when you get married, the conversation is different. All right, y'all. I've been on here too long. I need to go to sleep. I'm very sleepy right now. I've had an extremely busy weekend and got home late and woke up very early. and on single parent duty because my husband's out of town. All right. I love y'all so much. God bless. I'll come back. We'll do this again, okay? And talk a little bit more about men. I love men. They're great. Treasures are in them. Yeah. Keep waiting. Keep waiting. It's worth the wait. Good night, Miriam. God bless you all. Love y'all. Bye-bye.